Hi viewers, today I will discuss some interview questions. I hope this video will be helpful for all over the industrial people. No more talking, let's start. Now I will explain first question. I already written here. What is the difference between saturated steam and superheated steam? So up to this, first time I will explain, and then I will explain and how can you detect each type in a steam system. So I will try to explain in detail one by one all questions. Normally you have to know what is the saturated steam. So saturated steam, that will be equilibrium with liquid water at the same pressure and temperature. So normally saturated steam, that will be equilibrium with liquid water at the same pressure and temperature. You can give this definition. It contains only the latent heat of vaporization. Saturated steam only contains the latent heat of vaporization. If any doubt or any confusion about this saturated steam, so in my I button I will give one link. From this link you will be easily understand saturated, superheated steam and latent heat, where it is using. So normally saturated steam are using in food processing system. So now I will explain about superheated steam. So what is superheated steam? Superheated steam that has been heated beyond the saturated steam temperature at a given pressure. How much pressure you provided, at this pressure it will be heated beyond the saturated steam temperature. More than saturated steam temperature, that time it will go to the superheated steam. Superheated steam, it contains latent heat plus additional heat. Another one is this superheated steam, it uses on a turbine. So I hope up to this is clear what is the difference between saturated steam and superheated steam. If like this question ask you, you can tell them saturated steam, that will be equilibrium with liquid water at the same pressure and temperature. And another one is saturated steam contains only the latent heat of vaporization. Saturated, where it is using? Saturated steam is using food processing system. And this superheated steam, that has been heated beyond the saturated steam temperature at a given pressure. And number two is superheated steam contains latent heat plus additional heat. And number three, it uses on the turbine. Normally it uses on the turbine. How can you detect each type in a steam system? How can you detect each type in a steam system? So as per temperature difference, you can detect saturated steam and superheated steam. Which steam is saturated and which one is superheated, as per temperature difference you can easily identify. Like saturated steam temperature have one rules, double root P, P means pressure, double root pressure multiply 100. If like these rules you use, that time you can easily understand. If you think this pressure 1 kg, if 1 kg pressure, and if you double root by this pressure, that time it will be 1 multiply 100. That means 100 degree centigrade. If 1 kg pressure, water temperature 100 degree centigrade, that is called saturated steam temperature. And if pressure in a 1 kg pressure, if this pressure 1 kg and if you double root in 1 kg, it will be 1 and multiply with 100 plus 100. So that means 100 plus 100, that means 200 degree centigrade. So if 1 kg pressure, water temperature 200 degree centigrade, that time you will be identify and you will be detect this is the superheated steam. And if 1 kg pressure, any water temperature 100 degree centigrade, that time you will be identify these are the saturated steam temperature. I hope it is clear.